All right. Hi, good morning, Brian. So I just wanted to go over some stats with you, just to give you a better purview of what it actually means to even be competitive, you know, in this field of selling chains and this type of jewelry. So I just wanted to go through some stats with some of your competitors. Obviously, these guys have some good SEO. I simply typed in Cuban link chain, and a few of these type of companies popped up. But as a matter of fact, I want to type in Cuban link chain first page to see a lot of the companies that I put in. Besides the gold shop, I chose the rest of these. But I wanted to go through the stats with you. Now, I remember telling you that the cheapest that you will see any kind of ads running within the US itself would be at least 10 cents, the minimum 10 cents. Um, it doesn't usually go below that amount. It is very expensive and very competitive um, to run ads within the US, but that is what the majority of your competitors are doing. And I just wanted to give you an estimate of what kind of a budget they should be spending, right? So here's a gold shop, one of your biggest competitors, right? And also, by the way, they do retargeting. Let me just show you. So I just went to the gold shop a little bit earlier. As you can see here, daily news. They're following me around with this ad now. Um, you know, so is AdRoll. They're also following me around. So this is just to let you know that these are the things that your competitors are doing. These guys are, really making sure that I'm gonna return back to their product. And by the way, these were products that I viewed in viewed and stayed on their page, looked. So in other words, this is they categorized me within a custom audience called view content, and now they're showing me these ads as a result of the view content. All right. So let's just take out the calculator to give you a better estimate of what kind of a budget do they usually spend at least to gain this many visitors on a monthly basis. And then we're even going to break down what kind of a percentage of conversions they would see, out of this particular percent. All right. So let's go here. Put like, as I told you, it breaks it down to 10 cents. That's minimum. And also, let's see what the majority of their ad spend is. As you can see, it is within the US. The rest of it is within other countries, but the majority of it, as always, for a lot of these competitors, is within the US. So you'll see the most highlighted area, US. All right. Excuse me. So we put. I told you that $1 would basically be able to reach 10 people for you. Right. That's when your ad starts becoming optimized. So let's put 828,000. Oops, 828 divided by 10 cents. This is how much $82,800. This is how much at least they pay to generate this amount of traffic, at least, on a monthly basis. And these are monthly stats, estimated visits on a monthly basis, right? As of September overview, right? That's what they spend. So that gives you like a better, what it is that you should be looking forward to. These guys, obviously, they separated their budget between retargeting, as we've seen here. They separated their budget to run their ads. They also put a lot of their ads on YouTube. You see, as you can see, a lot of their ads, the traffic sources come from social. All right. So that is an estimated budget of what it is that these guys are spending on a month by month basis. All right. So now you just multiply that by what they should be expecting. Um, excuse me, 82,000, 128,000. Multiply that by what they should be expecting to convert. Let's say they, being the most conservative, 2%. Right. Of course, these guys have, excuse me, a lot more than 2% of people coming in, but they're converting 16,000 people, 16,560 people. right, out of this. And then, of course, you multiply it by their least probably expensive goods to get at least an estimate of what it is that they should be seeing on a monthly basis. So this is what it is that they're seeing. At least 1 million. Now they spent about $80,000 a month to reach about this 1 million. Now, of course, this is on the high end. Some of these guys are playing, on the lower end. So let's I could X out of these. And also, by the way, just remember again, the majority of these guys on a homepage that I looked up for um, Cuban link chains. Majority of them, they're all doing drop shipping. How can I tell? Once this magnifying glass pops up called Commerce Inspector, I can you could automatically tell that it's a drop shipping store. Here's another thing that they do. This particular individual want 10% off your first purchase. Yes, no. They created a sales funnel for this particular page for me to walk down this particular path, right? So if I click yes, let's click yes, enter your email to unlock 10%. And of course, once I enter my email, they also enter me into an email retargeting campaign, right? So they retarget me with an email. No, never mind. We can close this up. 325 bucks. You can see frequently bought together. And now let's look at what these guys are doing. All right, this is called Spy Cycle. All right, what kind of volume are these guys bringing in? This is 110K, right? That's how many visitors they have on a monthly basis. So we clear that up. We know that it's 10 cents, per individual that they bring in. So how much would they be spending? They're spending, excuse me, per dollar. So they're spending at least $11,000 and 45 on a monthly basis. That's how much it is that they're spending to generate any kind of a lump sum of traffic. I'm sure when these guys began, they definitely expected at least some kind of a loss, if not a break even, right? But these guys were prepared to go in the game, all in. So they're spending $11,000 at least on a monthly basis in order to generate this quality of traffic. And again, where do the majority of the customers come from? US. So these guys are not spending anything less than 10 cents to generate this quality of traffic. All right. So now, what is the conversion rate? All right, 1,000, 100,000. You multiply that by being the most conservative, 2%, 2% conversion. This is how many people they're actually getting to convert on a monthly basis. You multiply that by the least amount of goods that the least price goods that they sell is probably going to be, from what I've seen, let's say $69. Right, that's how much it is that they're bringing in. That's it's $151,000. Right, now of course you multiply that by what it is that these guys are spending. These guys are spending maybe about, at least, and that's an estimate again, at least $11,000 upwards. Right, that's what it is that these guys are spending in order to even be able to get and convert any form of traffic. But of course, these guys are also doing retargeting, right? Hands down, these guys have a budget that's set aside. Any person, any one of your competitors have a budget that's set aside. Even here, any one of them have at least $10,000 that they're putting towards this thing. What I did make mention of to you, beginning at 500, that's to start off with your testing phase. As you can see, I want you guys to compete on a level with these guys, right? I know that your chain, at the end of the day, has no clout. I needed to run these things within in India, where I can gain a lot of lookers, and I could also gain a lot of social engagement, right? So that your ad could actually at least have the wherewithal to convert. Did it start converting? Yes. Then I made mention of $1,000, $1,000 up. But I also did make mention that once things start getting hot and heavy, we basically have to start scaling. We have to start, if we realize that we're not gaining a lot of purchases, then we usually scale for the objective beneath. And that's the thing that we start focusing on a lot. But another thing that we did have to focus on was retargeting, and is retargeting. So let me show you again. The rest of these guys. These guys are spending at least $13,000 to convert. Where's the majority of the conversions? U.S. All right, at least $13,000 to and this is the gold guides. All right. Um, yeah, the gold guides. At least $13,000 to a month is what they're spending and what they're comfortable with spending on a monthly basis. Most likely, these guys have investors. They're definitely not going at it alone, right? The rest, $30,000 at least to generate this amount of traffic. Frost, New York, $20,000 at least to generate this quality of traffic. The conversions that they're seeing, maybe even 1% out of that, right? Being very conservative, 1%. But at least they're converting a small unit. In other words, 1% out of this many traffickers are being converted, and then you just multiply it by the least amount of goods to get at least a baseline of what it is that they would be selling. So this is just to give you a better perspective on, in order to really get on to be in this industry and to be competitive and to start generating the income it is that you're envisioning. You have to go through you have to go through the growing pains of getting a ad that is optimized, getting an ad optimized again with connecting it with the proper audience. You have to go through all of these growing pains. These guys are literally, they're battle tested. If they're not a name brand, then these guys are definitely pouring in some money to establish themselves within the industry. All right, so I just want to give you that something to think about, just to let you see what it is that your other competitors are doing. All right, man. Peace.